Hello students, welcome to 99% in 99 days class 10 series. So today is Sunday and today we have conducted a mock test for you which consisted of 12 questions of chemistry and 12 questions of biology, right? So now I'll be discussing the answers of first 12 questions and then your bio ma'am will be taking and she will be explaining you the next 12 solutions of bio questions. Okay, so let us start students without any further delay. So you can see the index here. So we have included all the types of questions. So 1 to 6 is MCQ, 7 and 8 is 2 markers, 9 and 10 is 3 markers, then there is a 11th question of 5 marks and 12th question a case based question of 4 marks. Okay, so total mark here is 25, same for bio 25, so total 50 marks. Okay, so let us start with the chapter name I forgot to tell my dear students. So we have completed chemical reactions and equations. So this chapter, this 12 questions are from this particular chapter, okay, chemical reactions and equations. Okay, so the question here is when aqueous solution of potassium iodide and lead nitrate are mixed, an insoluble substance is formed, the chemical equation is, okay. So first of all, if you see the lead nitrate formula is PbNO3 whole 2, right? Here it is PbNO3, here it is PbNO3, we can eliminate this option. So it will form lead iodide and its formula is PbI2, here it is PbI, so eliminate this option. Correct answer is option number B here. Next, okay, a metal ribbon X burns in oxygen with a dazzling white flame. So if you remember, dazzling white flame is with magnesium, so option number B. Okay, next here the reaction is there. Correct statement about these equations are, so you can see here that Mg and HCl is giving you MgCl2 and HCl. Okay, so here magnesium has displaced hydrogen, so yes, it is a displacement reaction, and both 1 and 2 are displacement. Okay, now here what happens, here Na comes and here H comes, so it is a double displacement reaction. So 2 is decomposition, no, 2 is double displacement, yes, option number B. Okay, next we have, one second, yeah. Next, to balance the following equation, you need to balance it and write down the value. So we need here 2NaOH is given, okay, plus we have XAl2O3 and here we have NaAlO2 plus H2O. Okay, so now if you see here is 2, so if I make this one also 2, why is 2? So 2 sodium I got, 2 aluminium, right? So here I should take it 1. So X will be 1 and Y will be 2, option number B. Okay, assertion reason, reaction of quicklime with water is an exothermic reaction. Yes, that is correct. Quicklime reacts vigorously with water releasing a large amount of heat. Yes, it is a correct reason. So both assertion and reason are correct. Reason is the correct explanation. So option number A. Again, next, decomposition of vegetable matter is an endothermic. No, it is an exothermic. So assertion is false. That is option number D here. Okay, next let us go to the 2 marker question. Why do silver articles turn black when kept in open container? Name the phenomenon involved. So silver turns black due to the reaction with sulfides, okay, and the process is called as corrosion, okay. And what is the formula of the substance? It is silver sulfide, so Ag2S. Okay, so we have here, one second, yeah, Ag2S. Okay, next, a substance X, which is an oxide of group 2 element, is used intensively in the cement industry. I hope all of you have guessed the X is nothing but your calcium. Okay, now this element is present in bowls also. On treatment with water, it forms a solution which turns red litmus blue. So if you put calcium in water, we will get calcium hydroxide. Okay, so we can balance this one, 2H2O, so we will get 2 calcium and 2 calcium, right? So okay, so reaction is not balanced, I think. Let me write it again. We have calcium, yeah, so calcium plus water forms your calcium hydroxide and 2. So we have here 2 oxygen and 2 hydrogen, right? So yeah, 2 oxygen and 2 hydrogen. So if I write like this, now it becomes 4 hydrogen. So I can write it now, okay, and apart from this, hydrogen gas is also produced, right? So now it is balanced, yes. Next, question number 9, it is observed that calcium on reaction with water floats on the surface. Explain why it happens. Also write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction that occurs. So first of all, you can write down when calcium reacts with water, okay, what happens? when calcium reacts with water, H2 gas is formed. Okay, H2 gas is formed. Okay, and this H2 gas, the calcium sticks with this H2 gas and then it appears to be floating. Okay, and then write a balanced reaction for this one. So just now we wrote calcium plus 2H2O gives you calcium hydroxide, okay, plus H2 gas. Next we have like what happens when aqueous solution of the product of this reaction reacts with carbon dioxide gas. So when this one reacts with carbon dioxide, calcium carbonate is formed plus water is formed, right? So that is what happens. Write a balanced chemical equation for this one. Okay, you can balance it. Okay, next, decomposition reaction require either energy, light to break down. Write one equation of each type of decomposition. So if you have thermal decomposition, right? So thermal decomposition is what? Calcium carbonate plus calcium oxide plus CO2. Okay, that is what is. Then if you have photolytic decomposition, so with the help of light, that is your AgCl gives 2Ag plus Cl2. And next, if you have electrolytic decomposition, so you can take 2H2O gives H2 plus O2. Okay, okay, that are the three examples. If you write each, you will get 3 marks. Okay, next we have the long answer type question. Why electrolyzing water before passing the current some drops of acid is added? Why? So this is added, so the first part here is this is added so that water can conduct electricity easily. Water can conduct electricity easily. Okay, the first point is answered here. Next, name the gases produced at cathode and anode. So at cathode, okay, at cathode, the negative anode, there it will be cathode is negatively charged, right? So H plus will come here, so hydrogen gas will be produced, and anode is positively charged, so OH minus will go this side and O2 will be produced here. Okay, write the relationship between the volume of the gas collected. So if you see, we have 2H2O breaks to give you 2H2 plus O2, so it is 2:1 ratio, so 2 times of this one will be produced. Next, what is observed when silver chloride is exposed to sunlight? So you can write down what is observed. So white color changes to white color, silver chloride changes to grey. Okay. Now what is the reaction? You have to write the photolytic decomposition reaction. 2AgCl gives Ag plus Cl2. Okay, fine. Next we have the 12th question, the case based question. The following diagram displays the chemical reaction. Observe carefully and answer the given questions. Identify the type of chemical reaction that take place and define it. So what is that reaction? It is photochemical decomposition. Okay, now how to explain it? You can write down when a decomposition reaction or a complex compound breaks into smaller compounds with the help of light, it is called as photochemical decomposition. Okay, next we have how will the color of the salt change? So color of the soil right here, when a compound breaks into smaller compounds with the help of light. Okay, it is called as photolytic decomposition. Okay, photolytic decomposition. How will the color of the salt change? So color of the salt will change from white to grey. Okay, mention one commercial use of this salt. So commercial use is black and white photography. Okay, name another silver salt which behaves like silver chloride in sunlight. So it is your silver bromide. Okay, understood. Okay, so students, here is a small announcement for all of you. See, now students, you are all in 10th class, and after this you are going to decide about your career, right? So, and this is a very critical decision and it should be taken with some guidance. So, to help you with this, we have come up with a very good solution, that is DSAT, Diksha Scholastic Aptitude Test. So, what is happening here is you will be getting like a 60-minute lecture, and after that you have to write a test on this, and this paper will be evaluated, and then you will have a one-on-one counseling with a mentor who can tell you about your strength and weakness and can suggest you the best possible career for you. Okay, so yes, this is a very good chance to know your strength and weakness and to choose the right career for yourself. Do not let this go. So if you want to register for DSAT, the link is there in the description section. Please go there, register for DSAT, and then choose the best possible career for you. Okay, so yes students, so now we have discussed 12 questions of chemistry. Now your bio ma'am will be taking up this session and she will be discussing the next 12 questions from bio. Okay, so stay tuned. Now bio ma'am is coming.
Hello cute little champions, welcome back, and now we are going to talk about biology, and the topic for the day is nutrition because it's the only thing that we have completed so far from this chapter, that is life processes. So what type of questions would you be seeing over here? MCQ, okay, short answer type 2 marker, short answer type 3 marker, long answer type 5 marker, and case study based question 4 marker. So how many MCQs will I be solving over here? 6 MCQs, then 2 questions of 2 markers, 2 questions of 3 markers, and then 1 question of 5 mark, and then 1 case study based question which is of 4 mark. Total at the end you will get 25 marks, my dear children. So let's see how much you are going to score. So tally your answers with me and let's be in the loop. I have full faith in you. You are going to score really good. Okay. Question number 13, which is the first question from biology. A stomata closes when? So first thing, before getting into the options also, okay, you have to think, when does the stomata close? So it saves a lot of your time. In the exam time, you say, okay, I do not, if I am a plant, I don't want to lose enough water. At this point of time, I want to close my stomata. So when the plant does not want to lose water, at that point it closes stomata. Second thing, when there is already enough amount of carbon dioxide in me, okay, in me, the plant, then obviously I don't need carbon dioxide or anything from outside. So that's also when I close this stomata. Okay, now let's look for the answers. So it needs carbon dioxide for photosynthesis? No. If it needs, it will open this stomata, right? It does not need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. This is something that matches my thing. So I'll put 1. Water flows out of the guard cells. So that is something that I have not thought, but it's okay. I am reading as of now, right? So water flows out of guard cells. When, children, if this is the guard cell, remember, when we also drink water, what happens, children? Our stomach comes out to be little small, forms a little small belly over there, right? Similarly over here also, when water fills in, that's when these guard cells get swollen, and when they get swollen, they open up. Now, when they lose the water, they'll come back to the same position which they were in, and now the stomata is basically closed. So I say, when they lose water, that's when the stomata closes. Okay, so the tactic that I applied is, when I read the question, the first thing that comes to mind, I have to remember that and then try to solve the question. Now I came across this which I have not thought. At that point of time, I can use my energy into finding what's the answer for this also. So I got to know the stomata closes when, children? When it loses water, and obviously that's when it closes. So it loses water, that means water has to flow out of the guard cells, right? So water flows out of the guard cells. This again is the correct thing. So second and third is correct. Let's see which option is correct for that. Yes, C. You have C option which matches all the criteria. Second and third. Okay, now if you are someone who is very confused regarding this particular topic, I have explained it to you in the video. Please go watch it. Okay, now go ahead. In the given transverse section of a leaf, identify the layer of the cells where maximum photosynthesis occurs, my dear children. Now, if you want to know the answer for this, there you need to put a bit of efforts. Okay, first understand the fact that this layer that they are talking about is upper epidermis. What is it, children? It is upper epidermis. Now, this is a leaf, a cross section of leaf, a transverse section of the leaf, as in, for example, if this is a leaf, I am going to cut the leaf like this, and I am going to see the side angle. How does it look from inside? So the upper epidermis is there. Similarly, there will be lower epidermis. And in lower epidermis, apart from the epidermal cells, there is also one group of cells which you call as what? Guard cells, my dear children, which guards the opening of the stomata. Right? So guard cells are also over here, please remember that. Now the next category of cells which are over here after upper epidermis is this, which are long, okay, they are the long cells that we have over here. What do you call them, my dear children? You call them palisade mesophyll layer. You call it palisade mesophyll layer. Now below that, there are certain cells which are round in structure, and actually they have lots of space. I don't know why they have not mentioned the space over here, but you have a separate name for it. You call them spongy mesophyll. Okay, so this is spongy mesophyll layer and these are spongy mesophyll cells. Over here is the same place where you will be finding xylem and phloem, which are the vascular bundles which transports food and water. So this is how basically a leaf looks. Now the question is, where is the place where you will see maximum amount of photosynthesis? That is the question. So maximum amount of photosynthesis basically is seen over here. And why is that so, my dear children? Because palisade mesophyll is the one that has maximum amount of chloroplast. Now if chloroplast is more, children, there will be more amount of chlorophyll also, and chlorophyll is the one that absorbs light, so everything is really good. Okay, so this is the one who gets the first rank, okay, for photosynthesis. Second rank goes to spongy mesophyll because they also have chloroplast. Third rank goes to guard cells because they also have chloroplast, but the amount of chloroplast will be comparatively lesser like this. So the first guy who will be having the most amount is palisade, then spongy mesophyll, then it comes to be guard cells. Okay, so where does the maximum amount of photosynthesis take place? In palisade mesophyll, which is laid as number 2. Okay, so number 2 is one correct answer. Now you want to find one more. So this is number 3. So 2 and 3 comes in this option. So B becomes the correct answer. Spongy and palisade mesophyll. Okay, please remember it. Okay, next question. Generally, food is broken and absorbed within the body of organisms. So it is said that, okay, for example, I, being a human being, I don't know if you think so, I am, but yes, I am. So basically, I take in the food and the food is broken down inside my body. Cool? Now it is absorbed within my body also. That's how things work. And this is known as internal digestion. What do you call this as? You call this as internal digestion, my dear champions. Okay. Now, in which of the following organism is it done outside the body? Now, food is getting broken down outside the body. What is that organism? So, as of what I remember, amoeba basically takes in food, and this is known as, in them, you call this holozoic mode of nutrition. They are taking in food and the food is getting broken down inside. Paramecium also does the same thing. Okay, paramecium also has holozoic mode of nutrition. Talking about lice, it is parasitic, my dear children. It is also parasitic as in it derives nutrition from a living organism, but it is not breaking food outside. It is taking the blood and everything inside and then doing its stuff. Nothing is happening outside. So what is that something that is breaking down food outside? It is mushroom. And what do you call this type of nutrition as, children? You call it saprotrophic nutrition or saprophytic nutrition. Where, what do you mean by sapro? Sapro means dead and decaying. Okay, so these are organisms which basically feed on dead and decaying things. So suppose this is a mushroom. Okay, and you have a dead organism over here. Fine. The mushroom will be releasing out certain chemicals which will be breaking down this organism into small parts. Now, whatever important nutrients are there, that is being taken up by the mushroom. So, breakdown of food, if you see breakdown of food, it is happening externally, outside, with the help of the enzymes, right? Now, it is getting absorbed back, that is a whole different story. So absorption of food is also being taking place here. So this is what you mean by saprophytic nutrition. Now over here with these options, I have explained you 3 different type of nutrition that comes under heterotrophic nutrition. So autotrophs are the ones that make their own food. Heterotrophs are the ones that depend on others for food. We are holozoic. Okay, we are holozoic, a type which is a type of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Similarly, amoeba, paramecium, they also show holozoic mode of nutrition. They also take things in and break it down inside their body. Okay, lice, if you see, they are parasitic. They are parasitic as in they feed on living organisms. Saprophytic are the ones that feed on dead and decaying organism, and they basically break down food outside, which is why they are known as, it is known as external digestion. Works. So mushroom comes in this category, yeast come in this category, my dear children, fungi, all the other fungi, mushroom, yeast are all fungi, okay. So they all come in this category, and also some bacteria also comes under this category, some, not all, okay. They would never give this as an example. And one more very important example is your bread mold, which they can also write as rhizopus. So please remember, rhizopus, bread mold, anything of this sort, they all are saprotrophs. Okay. Going ahead with the next question. Identify the option that indicates the correct enzyme that is secreted in location A, B and C. So A is mouth. Okay, so for people who do not understand what it is showing is, it is mouth. I'll make it easy for you, okay. Second is stomach. Okay. Third one is suppose it is small intestine. Now you can try to find your answers. So what is the enzyme that is being released in the mouth, children? There is only one enzyme being released in the mouth for digestion, okay. And that one enzyme's name is what? It is known as salivary, inner saliva, amylase. And what does it do? It breaks down starch into what, children? Maltose. So starch is a complex carbohydrate, a very big carbohydrate. You want to break it down into small thing, that is maltose. Still, it will also be getting broken down later on in the small intestine into much more smaller version of it, that is glucose and things like that. But this is the guy that is there in the mouth. Now in the stomach, what do we have? So let's see, the first one should be matching, A1 should be matching with amylase. So we just have one option that matches with amylase, and this should be the correct answer as well. Let's see, the second one is pepsin. Is it pepsin? Does stomach release pepsin? Yes, my dear children. Stomach is the first place where the proteins are broken down. So in the stomach, there are certain cells known as chief cells, not cheap cells, chief cells, which releases something that is known as pepsinogen, which is inactive form of the enzyme. Now in the presence of HCl, that is, it provides acidic medium, this guy converts to active form, which is known as pepsin. Now pepsin will be acting on proteins and breaking down the proteins into something that is known as peptides. Now will the peptides also get broken down just like this guy later on? Yes, it will also get broken down to amino acids later on in the small intestine. So all the final digestion takes place in the small intestine. Okay. Now next thing, so pepsin is correct. Third thing is trypsin. So yes, in the small intestine, actually small intestine that is secreted in the location, I cannot say it is secreted in the location, probably they have made a mistake by not mentioning the pancreas over here. So it's pancreas, okay, it's pancreas which releases trypsin. Please remember that, okay. But the secretions move to the small intestine and is being released over there. Pancreas make the enzyme that is trypsin, but it is being released inside the small intestine. Okay, so basically over here, trypsin, what it does do? Similarly, it also breaks down proteins to peptides. Trypsin also has the same function. So this becomes your answer, my dear children. Yeah. Next. Children, if you're liking the videos, okay, do not forget to do what, children? Do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also write cute comments. We would love to read that. Yeah. So 17th question. Observe the diagram of human digestive system. Okay. This is the diagram of the human digestive system. Match the labeling referred in the column 1. This is column 1, okay. And correlated and correlate it with the function in the, okay, you have to correlate with the function in column 2, that is the thing. Okay, not correlated, it's correlate. So this part, so whatever has been shown, you have to match its function over here. So A, as what I understand, is mouth again. And mouth, in mouth, what can happen, children? Let's see. So first let's read the option. The length of this depends on, okay, we can do one more thing while solving the question paper in their real time in your exam. Okay, that is, see for the option. The length of this depends on the food that the organism eats. The length of this depends on the food. Basically, this is, you're talking about small intestine, right? So for an organism who need too much time to digest, they will have longer small intestine, because small intestine is the place where final digestion takes place. So for some organism, for example herbivores who eat plants, and plants, basically their cell wall has cellulose. So to break down cellulose you need so much time, so their small intestine is kind of large. Okay, this is for that. Now next thing, initial phase of starch digestion. So starch digestion, okay, initially the starting of it happens in the mouth. I told you, salivary amylase. So it has to be the mouth. Okay, next thing, increase the efficiency of lipase enzyme action. So who increases the efficiency of lipase enzyme action? Lipase enzyme is, okay, lipase, which is the enzyme, it is being secreted by pancreas. Lipase is an enzyme that is being secreted by pancreas, my dear children. Now, if I want to increase the efficiency of lipase, what is exactly lipase going to do? It is going to act on fat molecules and it will break down into fatty acid and glycerol. It will break them down to fatty acid and glycerol, my dear children. Now, the thing is, basically, the liver which is there, okay, the liver which is there, it secretes something which is known as bile juice. And bile juice has something that is known as bile salt. And what does the bile salt do? Bile salt act on bigger fat globules, okay, big fat globules, and it breaks them down into smaller fat globules. And what do you call this process as? You call this as emulsification. I'll repeat. So basically, liver secretes something that is known as bile juice, which has bile salts, which acts on big fat globules, breaks it down into smaller fat globules, and this is known as emulsification, my dear children. Works? Okay. Now, how does it help lipase? Because basically you have small things over here. Now it has larger surface area for the enzyme to act really quick. It made it really easy for the enzyme now. So who is the one that increased the efficiency of lipase enzyme action, children? It will be the liver. Anyway, you have to tell the organ's name, right? So it will be the liver. Now, this is the site of the complete digestion of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. I told you there is only one ultimate site for complete digestion, and that ultimate site will be what, children? That will be your small intestine. Works? So now let's see. So first is mouth. First is mouth, and mouth goes with B. Okay, so 1B. So this is an option, this is an option, rest we can eliminate. So we have eliminated this. Next thing. Second one is liver, and liver is going with option number C. So liver second, and it's going with C. So this is correct. Now we do look for other also, but still let's see. Now if we talk about third one is small intestine. Third one is small intestine. Third will go with D. Third is going with D. Fourth one basically is your, what is it? My God. Oh, okay. Wait. Why they have mentioned like this? Just give me a second, okay? This is also small intestine itself, but over here they have marked it different. Okay, this is also small intestine only. This is not the large intestine. I don't know why they have marked like that. It has to be the small intestine. So what shall we do, my dear children? So the fourth one also matches with A over here. So we say that this is the answer. Okay, this is the confusing part of the question, but rest everything matched. So let's go with this. Okay, while I was solving initially I didn't find it, but okay. I hope you got the answer. It's not a wrong thing that I explained. Everything is correct itself. According to your NCERT, this is the correct way. So we are going with that. Okay, here also they didn't mention the line properly. I had to make a proper line over here. So sometimes, yes, things happen, we have to adjust. Yeah. Now there is one last question under MCQ category. This is an assertion and reason question. Okay. So you know what to do in assertion reason question, right? You have to read the assertion first, then you have to read the reason and see whether the reason is explaining the assertion or not. So assertion says herbivores have larger small intestine compared to carnivores. Assertion is true. Agreed? So write true there. Please write true there because you will forget it. That's why I'm telling you. Okay. Now reason says complete digestion of food takes place in the small intestine. Reason is also true. Is this explaining this? We can say it is explaining. Okay. Yes, herbivores have larger small intestine as compared to carnivores because complete digestion of food takes place in the small intestine. But it would have been really better if they would have explained that basically it's also because they digest plant-based food that has cellulose in it, which needs longer time for digestion. But anyways, they have written that complete digestion of food takes place here, which is why it is long. So it's fine. It's fine, it explains. So reason is explaining assertion, both are true also. So both assertion and reason are true and the reason is the correct explanation of assertion. This becomes the correct answer, my dear children. So sometimes when you know a lot of things, you have to sit and think. I get you. Okay, sometimes when you know extra, you will be like, is it actually correct? Because, okay, my hair, okay, this is not what exactly I have learned. But if you see, the statement is not entirely wrong also. And it also explains in some other way. So let's go, give it the marks that it deserves. Yeah. So that's all. So with that, we are finishing the MCQ questions. Now let's get forward with the next type of question, that is 2 marker question. Okay, short answer type. So state one role of each of the following in human digestive system. Hydrochloric acid. What is the role of hydrochloric acid? So hydrochloric acid is being released in the stomach first for killing the pathogens. Okay. What is the second role of it? For providing acidic media for activation of enzymes. Works? Can you write like this? You are just asked for one. You can write like this if you have time. Okay, and underline the important things. Providing acidic media for killing the pathogens. Okay, next thing, villi. What does villi do? What are those children? What is the function here they are asking? So you have to write they are finger-like projections. You know, right? They are finger-like projections. So if people would not know, I will be making it for you, do not worry. So in our intestine, inside, if I am standing inside the intestine, I am looking. Okay, so there will be small finger-like projections like this. This is known as villi, my dear children. Now over them also there will be small cells. Over them also you will be finding certain small cells which has finger-like projections like this. Okay, now you call this small finger-like projections, only finger-like projections, as what? Microvilli. So villi has microvilli. So villi has certain cells over it which will be having microvilli at the end. Works? So finger-like projections which are known as villi. What is its function? The function is to increase surface area for absorption. Increase the surface area for absorption of what? Of nutrients. How does it increase the surface area, my dear children? Listen, if it would have been this one, so absorption would be taking like this. But if it's like this, now absorption will be taking in all directions like this. So it becomes all the more easy, my dear children. You get it? So finger-like projections are there which increases surface area for absorption of nutrients. That is the role of villi. Now anal sphincter, if we talk about anal sphincter, and one more thing before I end. So here it is richly supplied with blood vessels. So all these nutrients are going to that blood vessels and the lymphatic vessels which are present over there. Okay. Now talking about anal sphincters. So anal sphincter is the sphincter muscle which is there at the end of the large intestine. Okay. They control the exit of what, children? Exit of undigested food. So sphincter muscle has to open, has to relax. That's when it will allow the undigested food to go out of our body, that is in the form of excreta. So that is why we need anal sphincter. Now if anal sphincter is always open, what will happen, children? Excreta will go on. That is also a big problem. We don't want that. Now lipase, what does lipase do? Okay, so you'll write, it's an enzyme that acts on fats, that acts on fat molecules and break them down to fatty acids and glycerol. So fat is made up of fatty acid and glycerol, so you want to break them down. For that you need lipase. So what you will write, children? It's an enzyme that you underline enzyme, then you underline acts on fat molecules, you underline fatty acids and glycerol. This is how you need to write the answer. So now increase the surface area of absorption. You might think you're underlining whole answer. No, while you're writing in normal letters, it won't be like that. So the important things you have to underline, my dear children. Very important things. Okay. I hope you got the answers as well. Now going ahead with the next question that we have is what? Give reason why herbivorous animals have longer small intestine than carnivorous animals. So many times I told you, that's a type of repetition that has come because children usually tend to forget. So why do they have, children? Because herbivores have plant-based food. Okay, can I write that? Because herbivores have plant-based food. Okay. Now what is the plant-based food rich in? It is rich in, which is rich in cellulose. Okay, now if cellulose is there, what's the problem? Cellulose needs higher time or more time for getting digested. Cellulose needs more time to get broken down. Okay, which is why they have larger small intestine. So I broke the points into points, so basically you can merge it up and make your own sentence, but I just wanted you to explain things like this. Okay, explain your answers like you're explaining to a baby. That's how you should be telling the answers, and I hope you are highlighting the important things. Do not use highlighter, just underline that thing. Rich in cellulose, more time to break down, so things like that. Okay. Okay, now although pepsin and trypsin are both protein digesting enzymes, yet they differ from each other. So pepsin, so let's talk about that. So you have pepsin and you have trypsin. Both are what? Protein digesting enzyme. So you agree regarding that. But you are asked for one difference. It is produced where? It is produced in the stomach. Whereas where is trypsin produced? Trypsin is a pancreatic enzyme. It is released by pancreas. Pancreatic enzyme. And where is it exactly released? The spot where it is released? Released in the small intestine, my dear children. So it is made in the pancreas, but it is released in the small intestine. So this is the difference between both of them. Can you write that? Okay. Next question. Now we have the 3 mark for question, children. So in the context of the statement, chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. Answer the following questions. So the statement is chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. We have to look for all this thing. Now, what are variegated leaves? Give an example. Tell me, what do you mean by variegated leaves? So variegated leaves are the ones that does not have equal concentration of chlorophyll all around its body, okay, all around the leaf. Okay, that is the first thing. No equal concentration or basically distribution. I will be writing that will be more correct. No equal distribution of what, children? Of chlorophyll pigments throughout the leaf. And now if this is not, distribution is not equal, it is not okay, then what can we do? Then what can we do? Or not what we can do, basically what happens to the plant? The leaf will be pale or yellow at certain areas, whereas green in other areas where the chlorophyll will be, where the chlorophyll is more, my dear children. Works? So you have to write variegated leaves are the ones that does not have equal distribution, so no equal distribution of chlorophyll. Done? Okay. Now this is something that you are explaining, you are associating this thing and you are trying to explain that sometimes it can be pale or yellow at certain areas, or it can be white also because of the lack of chlorophyll. Okay, whereas green in color in other regions because it has enough amount of chlorophyll. Now just give me a second, okay, I need to add one more thing in the slide. Okay, so we were talking about that. So we understood what is variegated leaves, and I know that you will be able to answer it now. Now give an example. So example for variegated leaves, you can say the commonest example that we definitely study always is coleus and croton. Please remember these examples, okay? We have coleus and we have croton, okay? C-O-L-E-U-S, okay, I will write it properly. Coleus and you have croton. Works? Now next thing, so when leaf is boiled in alcohol, what happens to the color of the leaf and the color of the solution? So when leaf is boiled in the alcohol, what happens is that the chlorophyll pigments, they start to move out. Okay, the chlorophyll pigments, they damage and they get moves out, which is why the color of the leaf, it turns out to be pale in color or probably white in color or probably yellowish in color a bit. Okay, so if you are asking about the color of the leaf, if you are asking about the color of the leaf, okay, it will be white to pale yellow. Whereas if you are talking about the solution, so in the solution all the chlorophyll pigments went and get dissociated, right? So basically got dissociated, which is why it will be green in color. The solution will be green in color. Okay, so whenever we are treating with alcohol, just understand the chlorophyll pigments, everything will be moving out. Now, in what form is the carbohydrate produced? In the case of plants, stored in the plant. Okay, so in what form is the carbohydrate produced in the case of plant? So you know the process of photosynthesis, according to which carbon dioxide and water is being utilized for the production of one very important thing, which is none other than glucose, my dear children. So it is produced in the form of glucose, but it is stored in which format, children? It is stored in the form of starch. If you are asked the same question about organisms like us, animals, what about us? In which format is it stored? So glucose is stored in the form of glycogen in the case of animals. Works? Now, why is chlorophyll necessary for photosynthesis? Now that is the next part of the question. Why is chlorophyll necessary for photosynthesis? Now listen, this is a 3-marker question. This is a 3-marker question. We can give 1 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark to each portions. If you can think like that also. So or probably it can give 1.5 marks here and 0.5 over here. We do not know the mark distribution yet. So what can we do is write whatever you know, but only what is important. Not like whatever junk you know, you do not have to write. Whatever is asked over here, Answer it properly. What are variegated leaves? You answered it. Give an example, you gave an example. Okay. Now when you do not say the story behind it now. So when leaf is boiled, what happens to the color of the leaf? You just write. The color of the leaf is white to pale yellow. Okay. What happens to solution? Solution is this. No reasons associated. You don't have to explain that. Now in what form is carbohydrate produced? Produced in the form of glucose. Stored in the form of starch. Done. Now why is the chlorophyll necessary for photosynthesis? Because chlorophyll allows the absorption of sunlight, my dear children. It will allow absorption of sunlight, which is why it is important. Works? So you got your whole 3 marks for this. Now next question that we have under this category is, name the movements that occur all along the gut in human digestive system. So what is that movement? Let's answer parts by part. Okay. So what is that movement that happens all around in my gut? It's basically peristaltic movement or peristalsis. Peristalsis. Okay. How do they help in digestion? So you have to explain a bit about peristalsis. What is this, children? It is involuntary. Isn't peristalsis involuntary? For example, today you are thinking that, Jasmine, you would not be doing peristalsis in your esophagus. Can I do that? No, children. Peristalsis will definitely happen. If I have food, it will happen. So there is involuntary contraction and relaxation of my gut. And why is it very much important? That is the question. So you have to first say that it's involuntary contraction and relaxation. Contraction and relaxation of what? Relaxation of the walls of the digestive system, or very basically gastric organs. Okay. Now that is what you mean by peristalsis. Now how are it is important, children? Allows passage of food. Yes, it allows the food to move down. Next thing, basically in our stomach also this thing is happening. So what is it doing? Isn't it mixing everything? All the enzymes and everything that is being released? Yeah. So I say mixing of various components such as enzymes during digestion. Okay, that is the use of peristalsis. Fine. Now second part of the question, will you be answering it completely? Yes, you can answer it completely. You can answer it for 1.5 marks. Assume that this is of 3 marks, 1.5 here, 1.5 here, and answer accordingly. Okay. Now where is bile juice stored in the case of human body? First thing you have to tell that bile juice is made where, children? Bile juice is produced in the liver. Agreed? It is produced in the liver. Where it is stored? It is stored in the gallbladder. There is a small thingy right over the liver, okay, the lowermost portion where it is stored. So you will write gallbladder. Okay. Now list 2 roles of bile juice. What are the 2 roles of bile juice? One you already studied, that is emulsification of fat. Emulsification of fat. You want to break down bigger fat globules into smaller fat globules, so you have to explain that over here. I am just writing the topic, but you have to write the whole thing. Okay, that is one thing. Second thing is to make the food alkaline. So see, over here your stomach will be releasing acidic food. Your pancreatic enzymes have to act next. For that, your liver will also be giving out certain secretion which you call as what? Bile. Now this bile is going to make things alkaline. Why? Because pancreatic enzymes will be only active in alkaline medium. Just like how these enzymes were active in only acidic medium, these guys need alkaline medium. So it makes the food alkaline for pancreatic enzymes to act. For the pancreatic enzymes to act. Works? Okay. Now next part of the question. Question number 23. Not next part of the question, next question. Question number 23, which is the only 5-marker question that we have for today. So let's see. So name the process and explain the type of nutrition found in green plants. So name the process. What is the process, my dear children? It is photosynthesis. Okay, name the process and explain the type of nutrition. or name the process. Basically, you can say autotrophic mode of nutrition. What is it, children? Autotrophic mode of nutrition. What do you mean by that? When organisms are preparing their own food, you call them autotrophs, or you call this method as autotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay. Now you have to explain it as well. So you have to tell that they use what happens in autotrophic mode of nutrition. So rather than me writing everything, I'll explain it to you. You try to frame your answers. Okay. I'll explain it to point to point. So autotrophic mode of nutrition is when you take inorganic substances. Okay, inorganic substances are those which does not have CC bond or CH bond. For example, carbon dioxide. For example, H2O. If you see their structure, they do not have CC bond. Instead, they have CO bond. Similarly, H2O. It does not have CC bond or CO bond. So they are inorganic substances, and we cannot make anything out of inorganic substances. We means we human beings. But autotrophs are the ones that takes simple inorganic substances and make complex organic substances out of it. So what are they going to do? They are using simple inorganic substances, and what are they going to do? They are going to convert into complex organic substances, and for this they need an energy which can be in the form of light or chemical. Now over here you are talking about green plants, so you will just talk about light energy. Now what are the raw materials that you require over here? You need CO2 and you need H2O. It is the raw material that you require, and also you need certain other nutrients like nitrates and nitrites. Okay. Now give chemical equation for the mentioned process. Now you have to give the chemical equation also. What is the chemical equation, my dear children? It is CO2 reacts with H2O in the presence of light energy. Okay, and who absorbs the light? Basically, children, chlorophyll. So you have to write chlorophyll. Okay, and what do they make, children? They make C6H12O6, and what is the byproduct? Oxygen is the byproduct. Apart from that, there is H2O also being made, and there is energy that is also being released. Okay, now you have to put the balanced equation. For balanced equation, I always tell you to remember like this: put a 6 over here, put a 12 over here. 6 and 12 is done. Over here, you already have 6. Here you have to make it 12. So give a 6 over here, give a 6 over here. You got 12 also. Okay, so 6 CO2 plus 12 H2O gives C6H12O6 plus 6 O2 plus 6 H2O plus energy in the presence of light energy and chlorophyll. This is the equation. Okay, now the next question says write 3 events that occurs during this particular process, that is photosynthesis. So what all are the things? So remember, name the process and explain the type of nutrition found in green plants. And you not understand what is the process you are talking about, so write photosynthesis there. Photosynthesis is the process, and it is the mode. This is the mode of nutrition that is occurring over there. Answer in parts. Once you are done with this, tick, tick. That's how you have to answer, so that you do not have to miss things. Okay, tick, done. Now tick, that is also done. Write the 3 events that is occurring in this particular process. First is absorption of sunlight. Who absorbs it? Chlorophyll. So you write absorption of sunlight. Who does that, children? Chlorophyll. Second thing, what is it? Second thing is conversion of sunlight energy to chemical energy. Okay, second thing, you took the sunlight, that is light energy, absorption of light energy by chlorophyll, absorption of sunlight by chlorophyll. Second thing is conversion of light energy. What are you converting it into? Chemical energy. So write chemical energy. Okay, because plants need chemical energy. For that, they are initially taking light energy. Now, what are they going to do with the chemical energy? With the help of chemical energy, they are going to reduce carbon dioxide to glucose. So, right, reduction of carbon dioxide, that is the next step. Reduction of CO2 to carbohydrates. You are not mentioning glucose, what not, you can mention in bracket. Okay, reduction of CO2 carbohydrates, bracket glucose. Now one very important thing that generally children miss is that in this point, that is second point, please associate one more point, that is photolysis of water. So when light energy is absorbed at this point of time, something happens to this H2O, thus that it breaks and gives out electrons and oxygen. So this is where you get oxygen from. This oxygen comes from this H2O. Please remember that. So photolysis of water also occurs to give oxygen and ions. So please mention about oxygen, and this is the oxygen that the plants give out, which is why we say plants, we should be planting plants, because plants give us oxygen. So 3 events: absorption of sunlight by chlorophyll, second thing, conversion of this light energy to chemical energy, and also photolysis of water to oxygen and ions, and then reduction of CO2 to carbohydrates with the help of this chemical energy that we just made. Okay? Works, will you be able to answer like this for your 5 marker? Understand, underline the important aspects as well. Next thing, this is a case study based question. So read the passage and answer the following. Okay. Not all plants carry out photosynthesis by the same mechanism. Okay. In most plants, photosynthesis depends directly on the gaseous carbon dioxide that diffuses into the leaf to the stomata. Okay. Pineapple have the ability to store carbon dioxide in the vacuoles of the leaf cells as part of complex carbon compound. So basically they are saying pineapple is one such plant which is taking in carbon dioxide, it is storing in some other form. Where is it storing, children? It is storing in the vacuole. Why is it doing so? Let's see. So this complex compound is transported to chloroplast and releases carbon dioxide when required. Okay, so it does not wait for the situation where you need carbon dioxide. It has stored it already somewhere. Okay, so that whenever the need comes, it can use it for photosynthesis. Now this special photosynthesis mechanism is believed to have evolved as an adaptation to conserve water for survival in dry condition. So pineapple did this because it did not want to open its stomata such that it could lose the water. So which is why when it opened the stomata, it took in all the carbon dioxide needed and stored it in what? It stored it in the vacuole. Why did it do that? So that it does not have to open it again and lose water. So which process in the plant does this photosynthesis mechanism minimize to help the plant survive in dry condition? So what is that process, okay, that the plant is minimizing over here, which would help it survive in dry condition? So the process that it is minimizing is transpiration. Transpiration is the loss of water in the form of water vapor through the stomata. So this is the process. So sometime when you read this, you do not get it immediately. So cut it down. Which process in the plant does this photosynthesis mechanism minimize? So which is the process they are asking? So what process is getting minimized over here, children? Transpiration is getting minimized over here. Okay. Now it will be helping in surviving in dry condition. Now how is the ability to store carbon dioxide as a complex compound likely to help minimize the process referred to in A? How is this ability, that is, I am able to store carbon dioxide in the form of complex compound, how can it help in basically not allowing transpiration to happen? How? Basically you have to write that since carbon dioxide is stored already, okay, there is no need to open, stomata like that. Okay. Now if there is no need to open stomata like that, will you see that the water will be lost? No. So no water loss will also be there. So basically how is the ability to store carbon dioxide help to minimize the process referred? Because if CO2 is stored already, there is no need for the stomata to open, and if the stomata is not opening, then there is no water loss as well, which is why that's how it is helping, right? This ability of the plant to do this is helping not to open the stomata, which is why we can prevent the water loss as well. Works? Will you be able to answer that? Yeah. Now, when are such plants likely to take in carbon dioxide from the environment? So when do you think, in which part of the day or night, when do you think that they will be taking in carbon dioxide? Anyways, they have to store carbon dioxide. For that, they have to take in at some point of time. When is that time when they do it? Obviously, during the night. Obviously, during the night time. Why, children? Why during the night time? Because sun is not there. If sun is there, then obviously when the stomata opens up, it will take in lots of water also in the form of water vapor. If sun is not there, it won't take much amount of water, which is why at night time it's preferable time to open the stomata such that the carbon dioxide can be taken in. Works? So I hope I explained each and every point regarding this. And that's how we have completed it. So together we have scored 25 marks, my dear little champions. And with this, I want to tell you a happy news about DSAT. So I wish and I hope that you know that Diksha Vedantu is basically organizing Diksha Scholastic Aptitude Test, my dear children. Okay, so if you are someone who is very much confused about what you should be doing after your 10th, so here we are to help you. There will be a 60-minute concept based lecture. After the lecture, there will be a small aptitude test and then a one-on-one counseling. And the counselor would be suggesting you the best stream that could be good for you. Okay, and then you can make an informed decision. So that is the purpose of the whole thing. So if you are someone who is wanting to go ahead with this, that link will be given in the description box. You can click on that. And now one more very important thing before I end the session. If you want the PDF of everything that we have taught, you can join our WhatsApp channel. The link will be given below itself. Okay, so in the WhatsApp channel, you'll get all the question papers along with this PDF, which I have explained the answers also. Okay, works? So that's all, my champions. I just want to tell you a big thanks, okay, and I wish you all the very best. Keep on studying. You're at the right track, my champions. Not be sad. All is well. Okay, so bye-bye. Do not forget to subscribe to our little channel, that is Diksha Vedantu, as well.